Welcome to Move With Us, Physio and Pilates. My name's Ali. I am a physiotherapist working in New Zealand. We are going to be filming in some of the most spectacular places, doing antenatal classes to start off with. I myself am about 23 weeks pregnant now. I've only got a little small bump, but yeah, I've been teaching Pilates, postnatal Pilates, antenatal Pilates for about the last 4 years, and thought it was about time that we added a few more kind of online sessions for people. It makes it so much easier. We don't have a lot of time, so these are going to be short, easy, quick sessions, 20 minutes really. I'm going to start with the basics today, which is just a little bit of Pilates setup. Please make sure that you're safe to exercise. Pilates is a really safe method of exercise to be doing whenever you are pregnant anyway, but if you have any concerns, just make sure you check it with your midwife or your doctor or your obstetrician. But we're going to start today. So I do have the wedge here. I'm not going to use that today. If you are over 28 weeks, I would like you to have a wedge or some pillows to prop you up. If you have a ball, that would be excellent. If not, you can grab a pillow. We're just going to start to use that in a few of our exercises today. So if there's any questions or anything you're concerned of at the end, you can catch me on Instagram. Ask me any questions there. But let's get started. So I'll pop that to the side. But like I said, if you are 28 weeks, please just have a little bit more pillows and props to prop yourself up. So we're going to come down and have a little lie onto our back. We are going to place the ball in between our thighs, and we're just going to get up into a nice starting position. So I want you to go for a little bit of the tilt of the pelvis forward and back for me. So you're dropping it forward and then tucking underneath. Imagine you're almost tipping the water out the front and then back, and we're just going to find that nice halfway point, and you've got a little kind of Malteser marble in the small of your lower back, so you're not crushing that, you're keeping the nice kind of curvature of your lower back. I want you then just to tuck the chin in for me, nice wide collarbones, relax them down, hands by your side, and start to just think about floating that rib cage down towards your two hip bones here. So no arching through the back like this for me. If you can just melt it down towards the mat and think about that connection between the hips and the ribs, trying to maintain that the whole time, so you've got that nice connection between the both of them. So we're just going to start with some nice deep breaths there for me. So I want you to try and think about taking a nice deep breath in through your nose, letting that come right down to your belly. Let your belly rise, and then as you breathe out, you're going to start to think about drawing up through the core and the pelvic floor. So what I mean by that, your pelvic floor runs from your tailbone up into your belly button here, sits like a hammock. What I want you to try and think about doing is trying to scoop it up like you're going to stop yourself from passing urine or passing wind, and draw the belly button into the back of the spine. Try and work with your breath, okay? So try and breathe in for me. Belly rises. As you breathe out, trying to zip up through from back to front. Draw up through the pelvic floor, belly button into the back of the spine. Breathe in. Let the belly rise. Breathing out, drawing up through the pelvic floor, drawing the belly button into the back of the spine. Tighten that notch in your belt a little bit, and then also think about keeping that rib cage down. I'm going to go for 3 nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Connect the core, pelvic floor. Breathing into the belly, let the belly rise, and as you breathe out, zipping up from back to front, tightening that belt, and then breathe in, relax everything down. Just as important to relax that pelvic floor as it is to activate. And then last one, breathing out, zipping everything up back to front, draw those tummy muscles in. Now we're just going to use this ball or cushion in between the knees
to start to work those inner thighs and really connect up through the core a little bit more. So make sure nice starting position, chin is tucked in, elbows or shoulders, collarbones nice wide, relaxed, no tension through the neck. Go for your breath in for me, and as you breathe in, let that belly rise, and then as you breathe out, draw up through the core, pelvic floor, and squeeze those inner thighs. Just start to connect everything up through the inside. Breathe in, you're going to relax, let go of the squeeze of the ball, let that belly rise, and as you breathe out, connect through the core, drop the pelvic floor, squeeze those inner thighs, feel a little shake, breathe in, relax. Breathe out as you drop through the core, pelvic floor, squeeze those inner thighs, breathe in, relax. Last 3. Breathing in, relax everything down. Breathing out, zipping up through that pelvic floor, scoop it up. Draw the belly button into the back of the spine, squeeze those inner thighs, and then breathe in, relax. Breathe in for me. Breathe out. Draw up, scoop it up. Belly button into the back of the spine. Squeeze those inner thighs, and then breathe in, relax. And again, last one. Breathing out, zipping up back to front, squeezing those inner thighs, and then breathe in, relax. We're going to start to use a little bit of motion through the pelvis, so I want you to make sure that all the movement's coming from the pelvis, the lower back, rib cage is nice and still there for me. So I want you to slowly tuck your tailbone underneath, squeeze those inner thighs, drop up to the core, pelvic floor, and then we're going to breathe in, relax everything down, let that pelvis roll forward, almost pouring the water out the front. And then start to slowly curl back. Tuck the tailbone underneath. Try and keep this really still through the rib cage. Squeezing those inner thighs, drawing up through the core, pelvic floor. Relax everything as we start to tilt that pelvis forward, rocking it the opposite direction. 4 more, breathing out. Draw up through the core, pelvic floor. Squeeze those inner thighs. And then breathe in, relax everything down. Let go of that squeeze. Let the pelvis start to roll forward. Keep that rib cage nice and still. And again, start to tuck the tailbone underneath. Squeeze those inner thighs. Drop through the core, pelvic floor, using your breath, breathing out. Breathe in, relax. Let everything drop down. Release all that tension. Last one. Zip up through the core, pelvic floor. Squeeze those inner thighs. And then let that come forward, drop it forward, relax everything down. Lovely, we're going to give those inner thighs a little bit of a rest, and we're going to start to bring in a little bit of upper body movement. So I want you to bring those shoulders and the hands up in line with the shoulders for me. Knees are still tracking out of the hips, weight into those heels, big toe, small toe. Keep the length in the chin, let that melt down. We're going to breathe in for me, and on your outward breath, we're going to draw the belly button in, zip up through the core. Keep the rib cage connected between the hips. No flaring through here, so you're keeping that connection as we reach up overhead, the little small teaser in your lower back. And then we're going to bring that back up in line with the shoulder. Breathe in to start. Breathe out. Remember, 2 springs holding those hips and those rib cages together. Breathing out as you reach up overhead, draw up through the pelvic floor and the core. Breathing in as you bring it back to shoulder. Breathing out, zipping up through the core, pelvic floor. Scoop everything up. Keep that rib cage down. Keep that Malteser, don't just let it be crushed underneath that small of your lower back. And again, reaching up overhead. Activate everything. Breathe in as you bring it back. Last 2. Reaching up overhead. Zip up through the core, pelvic floor, and then bring it back for me. And again, last 1. No flaring through the ribs. Scooping up the pelvic floor, belly button into the back of the spine. Tighten the notch on the belt. Breathing in as you bring it back. Lovely. Fingertips to the ears for me now. We are going to bring a bit of that squeeze in through that inner thighs again. So make sure for me here, fingertips are just behind the ears. The elbows are nice and wide. The chin is tucked in. You've got those hips and the knees tracking out of the hips. Connection with the big toe, heel, small toe. Big breath in for me. Outward breath. You're going to slowly start to peel up, leading with the chin, squeezing through that inner thigh where the ball or the cushion is. Draw those tummy muscles in as we reach up. Little shake at the top. And then slowly coming back down. And again, breathe in to set. Breathe out, draw up through the pelvic floor, leading with the chin, keeping the elbows nice and wide. Fingertips are just there as a little light touch, no pulling on the ears. A little shake at the top. Slowly back. Breathing in. Breathe out, leading with the chin, lifting up. Elbows nice and wide. Squeeze that ball. And then slowly back down. Last 3. Draw up through the core, pelvic floor. Lead with the chin, lifting up, squeezing the ball. Slowly back down. Last 2. Leading with the chin, squeezing up. Little shake at the top. Slowly back down. Relax off that ball squeeze. Last 1. Breathing in, breathe out, slowly rolling up, keeping that Maltese in the small of the lower back, don't crush it. Good. And then slowly back down. Lovely. Hands nice and wide for me. We'll go for a little window wipe, just to free that all up, bringing the knees side to side. And then we're going to start to come back into our starting position, so make sure you've got that little small Maltese in the lower back. The rib cage is down, the chin is tucked up onto the toes for me. Palms facing up. Breathing in, outward breath. You're going to squeeze those inner thighs and drop. Sorry, getting cramps. We all know. Start to get those a little bit. So we're going to breathe out, draw the tummy muscles in, dropping the knees to the side, keeping the core engaged. Breathing in as you come back. Breathing in, outward breath. Zip everything up, core nice and strong. Breathe in as you bring it back. Breathe in to reset. Draw up through the core, pelvic floor. Drop the knees to the left. And then slowly back. Breathing in to start. Breathing out, draw the tummy muscles in and drop to the side. Squeezing the ball, nice, slow, controlled. Breathe in as you bring it back. 1 more each side. Breathe in, outward breath, drop the knees to the side. Breathe in as you come back. Last 1. And then breathe in, bring it back. Perfect. little shake off there again there for me. And then hands back down to your side for me. Make sure again, knees are tracking out of your hips. Weight her into your heels. We're going to go for a little bit of our Pilates bridge. So we're going to slowly peel up one vertebra at a time. Lifting your bottom up towards the sky for me. Opening those hip creases, squeezing those inner thighs, and then you're going to slowly peel back down. One vertebra at a time, placing it down on the mat. Lovely. And again, breathe in. Outward breath. Roll up through the spine, draw the tummy muscles in, reaching up. Opening those hip creases, and then slowly come back down. Placing one vertebrae back down onto the mat at a time. And again. Breathing out as you roll up through the spine, draw the tummy muscles in. And then slowly coming back. Last 3. Breathing in to start. Breathing out, rolling up through the spine, peeling each up vertebrae up off the mat. Opening the hip creases, breathing in at the top. Breathing out as you roll back down. And again, rolling up through the spine, opening those hip creases, and then slowly placing one vertebrae back down on the mat at a time. Take that ball out there for me. Go for a nice little rock side to side. Those glutes and everything should be feeling that now, which is great. And we'll just go with one more window wiper to the side, and then we're going to come on to our sides here. So set up position for this for me. Hips, ankles, knees all stacked. Okay, heels are in line with your bottom for me. Knees, when you come down here, should just be in line with your eye line. You're going to tilt your top hip away. You're going to place that ball or cushion in between your knees for me. We're going to start with a few of the around the world, but I want you to make sure you're not just relaxed into the mat and not doing any work. So you're going to tilt that top hip away, a little bit of space in between there. And we're going to start with a nice big deep breath in, outward breath to draw up through the pelvic floor and the core, and then we're going to go for nice big circles around. Follow with the eyes, squeezing that ball as you come back down and around. Relax as you come back to the starting position. Breathe in, outward breath, draw up through the core, pelvic floor. Scoop it up, big circles around. Squeezing that ball. Relax as you come back down. And again, draw up through the core, pelvic floor. Keep that side lifted, don't relax it down into the mat. Nice big circles around and down. And again, 3 more. Big circles around. Squeezing that ball. Relax everything as you get back to the starting position. Breathe out, squeeze up through the pelvic floor and the core. Big circles around. And then back. Last one. Breathing out, squeezing the ball. Big circles around. Fingertips to the ear. Let me reset. Make sure that you've got that nice connection. Head supported, fingertips to the ears. Breathe in for me, outward breath. Squeeze the ball. We're going to lead, just lifting up off that bottom arm. Elbow towards that hip. Keep the length in the side. Breathe in as you come back down. Breathe out. Draw the tummy muscles in. Pull up through the pelvic floor. Breathe in as you come back. Breathe out, lift up through the side. Draw the tummy muscles in. Breathe in as you come back. And again, last one. Draw up through the core, pelvic floor. Lead with that. Elbow, fingertips are just lightly on the back of the ear. Good job, everybody. We're just going to work that other side. So
I'll just turn around to face you guys. Almost gonna lose the sun. So, set up position for me. Come right down onto your side. Hips and knees are stacked, ankles in line with your bottom. Come right down onto your side for me. Tilt your top hip away, down towards that ankle. Got a little bit of space through here. Gonna breathe in for me. Outward breath, draw up through the pelvic floor and the core, big circles around. Squeeze that ball. Breathe in, bring it back. Breathe out as you reach up and over. Squeeze that ball. Keep that lifted through the side. And again, draw the tummy muscles in, reaching around and down. And then back. Last two. Big circles around. Last one. Breathing out. Draw up through the core, pelvic floor. Nice big circles. Fingertips to the ears for me then. Reset. Space in between. Top hip away. Relax through the inner thighs to start off with. Breathe in. Outward breath. Elbows are lifting up. Squeeze the ball. Draw the tummy muscles in. Breathe in as you come back down. Breathe out. Scoop up that pelvic floor. Squeeze the ball. Breathe in as you come back. 4 more. Lifting up, scooping up through that side, keeping that lifted. Squeeze the ball. And back. Last 3. Perfect. Last 2. Good. Last 1. Perfect. And then we're just going to come back onto your back and do some lovely stretches for the hip there for me. So come right over onto your back. Knees are tracking out of your hip. You're going to bring your right hand onto the inside of that thigh. Just going to let that drop out to the side. Feel a nice stretch through the inside of that thigh. Breathing through your stretches. A little bit over pressured, okay? Don't push into any pain. Dropping that out to the side. Feeling a stretch on that inner thigh. Bringing it back. Just make sure you breathe through all your stretches. And then bring that back. And we're going to bring that right foot up onto the left knee. And then we're just going to bring that left heel into your bottom a little bit more. Drop that knee out to the side. Breathe through. Little gentle pushes. Feel the stretch a little bit more on the outside of that hip. And out to the side. Nice. And then you're just going to let that drop over to the left side. And you'll feel a little bit of a deeper stretch just into your lower back, into that hip. You're just going to hold it there for 3 nice big deep breaths. Then bring it back up to starting position. Change sides. Then straighten the right leg. Let the left leg drop out to the side. Feel a nice stretch on the inside of that hip. Bring it back in for me. 3 nice little stretches. And out to the side. Good. Bend that knee up. Foot onto the outside. Let that left knee drop out to the side. Again, you might feel a little bit of stretch and you're going a little bit into that glute. Bring the heel a little bit closer to feel a bit more of a stretch. And then just gently drop it to the side. Feeling a stretch through your lower back into your hip. Hold for 3 nice big deep breaths. Well, ladies, that's all done for today. Hope you check in for the next session and have a